Hello and welcome to my B2B podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hooper, and I own and operate a farmers insurance agency here in Caldwell, Idaho. I created this podcast to spotlight business owners and leaders to share their story and tell us about their business, the who, the what, the when, the why, and the how of it all. And if you're listening and are a business leader, my hope is that you will gain some great nuggets of knowledge from our guest that will help grow your business to the next level. And so with that, let's get into the interview. Hey everyone, welcome to B2B Growth. My name is Troy Hooper, and this is your business. And today I get to talk to Michelle Serratos with the Sign Shop in Caldwell, Idaho, and really excited to have her on the show today. Thank you for coming on, Michelle.
Thank you.
So I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you native to Idaho or what?
So I was born and raised here. Uh, Same house since I was 3, went to Middleton my whole life. Went to college at BSU, did have to finish at CWI because that's when it started, and got my marketing degree at CWI.
Okay. So after that, tell us your work history. I mean, bring us from there to how you ended up at the Sign Shop.
I did a lot of waitressing. Well, I did a lot of jobs here and there, a lot of seasonal stuff. So I've done a lot of jobs. Um, Mostly waitressing. Bent Fork was my first big one. I had done a little bit of waitressing before that, but Bent Fork when it was around, and then
That was a
Stewart's
long
after
time
that.
ago.
Yes. And then Stewart's after that. Um, excuse me. After Stewart's, I went to US Bank. US Bank, there was delivery person from Pioneer Title. He said he was going to college, so I found out who I needed to talk to get into Pioneer Title. Started off with as a delivery driver, got moved into marketing finally, because that's what I went to school for. And then here I am, a business owner.
Wow. And a business owner at that who's an entrepreneur running your first business like this. Tell me what made you decide to do this?
For some reason, I've always wanted to own my own business. Probably because my dad's owned his own business since I was born. He started it just before I was born, so he's been a business owner my whole life, and it's been fun watching him grow his business. And he was gone a lot for his business because he does have business out of state also, but it was just fun watching him grow his business. And then got with my husband, and his dad owned the shop, and just seeing him work his business, and that's just
Keeping
kind
it
of
in the family too. That's kind of
yep,
cool.
yep.
I mean, there's something about that. I mean, I'm excited that the Sign Shop is continuing in the family, just like Zach's Drive-In, for instance.
Yep.
Not that that's continuing in the family, but there's just that long history that's been around here for forever like that. So I know you haven't been in a business a long time, but talk about some of the challenges you've faced so far.
Oh,
What's the biggest thing that's sticking out to you?
there's been a handful. I've done accounts payable and receivable. When I was younger, I did work at my dad's work, but it's different starting my own business doing accounts payable and accounts receivable. I had to set it all up for myself, figure it out on my own, figure out QuickBooks. Um, just that in itself was hard. When I first started, we were busy enough that I was in the back, so it was hard to try and keep the office put together and then work in the back to help push out that stuff. So, but learning in the back has been fun, and I love being creative. So that's been fun to learn all the actual putting it together and all of that. And then also there's the creative front drawing up of everything where I haven't learned any of that yet. That's going to be a process in itself. But as of now, I'm trying to get the office lined up, and then eventually go learn all that drawing and the stuff with customers.
Right. So how many employees did you actually inherit?
So I inherited 3 employees. Rick is still here for a little bit longer to help train. So he went from an owner to an employee, and then I do have a new guy.
Okay. And are you having the thing to figure out workflow? Like taking over his business is not something you may have walked into and said, okay, we're just going to start everything over, but really learning where he was already at.
Yeah.
And then how do I go to the next level
Yep.
with it like that?
Yep. So everything's pretty much stayed the same. Everybody has the same positions. They've been teaching me what they know. Haven't really changed all. We have cleaned up and cleaned out the shop and gotten rid of some stuff, but I haven't changed anything. I don't plan on changing anything, but I plan on adding eventually. So we do have like a CNC machine, which they've had for 4 years and they've never used it. And that's going to be a big addition to the shop. Plus my creative side where that's kind of where I want to add some stuff. So
Right.
that's
What is a CNC machine?
so it cuts any material out. This one cuts any material out, and it's actually a pretty big. We have a pretty big table, so it cuts out wood, acrylic. It even cuts out metal, but my husband said it's probably cheaper if we don't cut out metal,
Right.
because it will take a lot of the bits. But it cuts out any material, foam. So if somebody's wanting a cutout for their sign,
Right.
then we'll be able to enter it into the computer and it'll cut it out for us. And then eventually I want to get a laser machine so it'll do the same thing plus more.
Right. Well, talk about the machines. Talk about particularly what the sign shop does. What are you guys good at? What do you guys are known for?
So we do mostly vinyl work, so stickers in windows, stickers on cars, magnets on cars. We do real estate signs, so we have the big premier posts. Most people, if you are in realty, it's the big white ones. The yard signs, the metal yard signs, A-frames. We have banners. Quite a bit of things that some people don't realize we have. Like a lot of the real estate stuff. We do have a lot of the real estate stuff that real estate agents didn't know we had and stuff on hand also. So yeah.
Get the message out as well about that.
Yeah, and I mean I have been and people come in and they're like, I've been going all the way to Boise for this and you've had it on your wall this whole time. Like, yeah.
It's a good feeling to pick up those kind of customers too.
Yes.
So what aspects of your job motivates you to get up in the morning and go, I'm excited to hit the door running?
Just continuing a legacy, providing for my family. I mean, again, just seeing where my dad and his dad have gone in life and what they've been able to accomplish. And now
Yeah.
I get to do it. When my daughter gets old enough, I get to bring her in here and show her what I got to do when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. So that's kind of where I get my work ethic. I've been working at my dad's. I've been working at the rodeo grounds since I could walk. I go sweep the floors at my dad's work, helped with inventory. So I was there at a young age, and I want to definitely instill that into my daughter.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've only been in the industry a short time, or maybe you have actually, being that your father-in-law owned it, you may have seen more of the industry, but are there some changes that you think you'd like to see in the industry?
I don't think I've been in long enough to know if there needs to be any changes.
Okay. And as far as where you're at right now, so you're hitting the ground running, you're just learning everything you can through a fire hose.
Yep.
What's the most difficult thing to learn? Is it the computer stuff, or is it where did we put those vinyls at? Or
I mean, the computer stuff is just we haven't had that opportunity to sit down, and I haven't had time to sit with him to learn that part of it. The back stuff, it's all been pretty easy. I mean, there is a niche to it, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy.
right,
The office probably is my hardest thing because I'm not a big numbers person. Nobody has been holding my hand, so a lot of it I have learned on my own, but my bookkeeper and accountant have helped a lot.
That's cool.
So without them, I probably wouldn't be where I am.
Right. Do you have any plans to do anything inside or outside the building? Just, change stuff up or
Yeah, so I actually just remodeled my office so you can see the goals. I literally did that on
I
Monday.
yeah, I was hoping that Rick didn't have pink in there, but
Nope, nope. I don't even know how much he actually stepped foot into the office because he was the computer guy and the other owner was the office person. So I don't even know how much he actually stepped foot in here. But so this was my first step was remodeling my office, making it to where I like want to come in and actually learn more and be homey a little bit.
right,
My next step is probably lights. I am gonna be painting also, so there's a lot of brown paneling. So these two pink walls were brown paneling, and it just made it like a dungeon in here, and it
right.
like the whole place feels like that. And so I have somebody coming in to help paint up the brown paneling and then the lighting. So those two are the big things that are coming next.
Some great before and after pictures.
Yeah.
Michelle, you are involved in the community a lot. The sign shop has been involved in the past a lot too, but how important do you feel it is to be involved in the community? What does it do for your business?
I think it's big. So I've been going out and about as much as I can. Still trying to be here, but be out and about. The new companies, even old companies, I have gone to talk to people and I told them that I bought the sign shop and they're like, "Oh, the one over by the rodeo grounds?" I'm like, "No, I'm over by D&B on the boulevard." So even the old companies that are here don't
Right.
realize that it's here, even though it's been here for 30, almost 30 years. So I think it is a big thing. And like I said, those real estate agents have been going to Boise when they could have been coming here the whole time. So I think it's a big thing to be out in the community and talking to people. And I mean, me and you are both on the chamber, and going to these ribbon cuttings are big for us because we get to introduce ourselves
Yeah.
and you get to pass out your cards and you get to meet all these people that don't realize that you're right there in their pocket.
I was going to say that probably is going to be your biggest niche
Yep.
in marketing is saying I've been here 30 years and it's time to get a little bit louder.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's cool to see you shifting like that.
Yeah,
So
it's been hard getting out of here because I do need to learn, but I need to get out of here to do that. So it's like I've been trying to find the happy medium and it's getting there.
right, and you are talking about your involvement in the chamber. What you are an ambassador,
Yep.
and what other community involvements do you do?
So I was on the Caldwell Board of Realtors for the last 2 years. It's just a 2-year position, so I am done. I have been affiliated director of the year the last 2 years also with that. So that just means I've had a lot of community involvement. I've helped out the president big, um, just as much as I could do. So for most of that 2 years, I was with Pioneer Title, but with that, people know who I am,
Yeah,
and talking to people and telling them that I bought the shop. And so now that I'm done with Call Board of Realtors, I'm really gonna step up with Chamber, and it'll probably be the only thing I'm really involved with this year, just so that I can figure out get into this business a little more and learn a little more, but still be involved in the community one step at a time.
yeah, absolutely, and it's going to make a huge difference down the road. Well, if we're talking about going backwards like that, let's talk about the next 5 years for the sign shop. What are your goals? What do you want to see happen?
So my plans are to again get that CNC machine going. Um, that's definitely going to grow us. Once I get that going, I'm hoping I can hire another person. Like I want to be so busy with that machine. I want somebody here to be running that machine.
Right.
So that's one step. Another thing is within the next 5 years, I will be changing our name. So right now it's the Sign Shop, two P's and an E on shop. I will change it to 2C sign shop, regular spelling shop. So it'll still have sign shop in there, make it more now times instead of the old fashioned
Any
shops.
other change in the logo portion, or is it just going to be a word logo?
No, we'll change it up a little bit. I got some clothing for us and I like how that logo looks. It's nice and clean. I'm sure I'll put something on it somehow to make it stand out because you don't want it to be too plain, but you don't
Right.
like I feel like the one now is too busy. So I'm sure I'll find a happy medium so that it
Makes sense.
still looks a little bit the same, but has mine and my husband's own twist on it. And
Definitely. What about employees?
I'm hoping to grow it. So when Rick retires, we have him till at least July. If we can get that new employee trained up onto the computer, July will probably be where he pretty much steps away, where he just comes in when we really need him.
Right.
So to replace this employee, which has been great, he's my newest employee. They're all great. I wouldn't be where I am without him, but moving him to the computer, that's going to shorten the back. So if I get that CNC machine running and then pull him from the back, I'm going to need, of course, a couple more employees and then just keep growing from there.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. So, new entrepreneur, new to the entrepreneurial world, and that was a fun word to say. What advice out of the gates would you give a new entrepreneur following your footsteps?
The advice everybody else told me to do, don't do it. I'm just kidding. No, I've enjoyed it a lot. I have had definitely ups and downs. Again, my bookkeeper and my accountant have both saved my tush a handful of times. Um, so definitely have a good bookkeeper and a good accountant to start out. There are some things that I missed at before we even bought that my bookkeeper was like, "Do you have this? Do you have this?" And I'm like, no. So we hurried and got that done so that it was back in time for us to even
Right.
buy. So it's more than just signing up for an EIN and having a business name.
Right. I like the answer. No. Question mark that I'm on my way to get it right now
Yep,
type thing.
yep, yep. The other
Yeah.
thing, like I said, is having good employees, ones that are gonna back you up, have your back. Um, Not all of them are gonna know what they're doing, but I walked into all my employees knowing what they're doing. They pretty much have a boss that doesn't know half the stuff they know,
Right.
but they're willing to help me grow, to help them grow, to continue this business. And I told them they're like family and we're not going to have each other without each other.
Okay, so that makes me ask another question because you threw out some keywords there. Um, they were already trained, they're ready to go. So, what is the culture that you're going to try to create? Is it just and I know it's kind of cliche. Everyone says we want a family culture,
Yep.
but what I mean, sign shop. When someone who walks in, what's the culture that somebody's going to feel when they come into the sign shop?
I want I want everybody to feel welcome. I don't want them to have to think that they have to stop at the front. We don't have anything in the back that can hurt anybody. So if we don't come to the front right away, so like Rick's not always at his computer and I'm not always in my office. Sometimes we're all in the back working. And I want people to feel comfortable to be able to come to the back. If we don't come to them, if we're not up here, then they can walk to the back and say, "Hey guys, just checking on my order," or "Hey, I need to put an order in." Like I just want everybody to feel welcome and seen and heard.
Yeah, I can guarantee you. I've remembered times in the past of walking in and going, "Is anybody working here?"
Yep.
you know, but understanding that that's cool. So developing that for your team and helping them just really make that the staple for you is going to be pretty great for your future.
Yeah.
So Michelle, thank you so much for coming on today. I really had a great time talking with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So this has been B2B Growth. It's your business. My name's Troy Hooper, and we'll see you on our next episode.